We're back with more Call to the Booth, getting you ready for a big championship weekend in the NFL. But there's some teams hoping to get to championship weekend for next season. Seven head coaching spots have been open in the league. 5 of them have been filled. We'll go through some of them with Aqib, and then we'll talk about the Deshaun Watson situation before we get up and out of here. The Jacksonville Jaguars have signed former Ohio State head coach, former Florida head coach, Urban Meyer. What are your initial thoughts, Aqib?
I think it's a great pickup by them. They're gonna draft. What's Clemson? What's my dog name? No, I don't know the young boy's name. Trevor Lawrence. They're gonna draft Trevor Lawrence. It'll be a great start, man. They got a bunch of money. He has shaped the team how he want them. He had a quarterback that he want, and he got a lot of power there. So, great pick by Jacksonville.
I wonder if Urban Meyer is going to be able to get back Telvin Smith in the organization or participating with them. Telvin Smith was a hell of a tackler for them.
It was a hell of a player, period.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
But I mean, I don't know if Urban Meyer gonna be able to do it, man. That's something Telvin Smith got to do. He was the one who decided not to play, and he gonna be the one who have to decide to come back.
For sure. So let's go to the New York Jets. They hired Robert Saleh coming in from the San Francisco 49ers, the first head coach in the NFL of Muslim descent. So that is a signature landmark hire for the NFL. There are some other issues that have been happening with diversity hiring overall in the NFL, but for that alone, that is commendable. What do you think about the hiring in itself?
I think another great pick, great leader. Defensive minded coach, man. He got a good start. He got a great middle linebacker. What's my dog name?
CJ Mosley should be on the way back.
CJ Mosley. There you go. CJ Mosley got a great middle linebacker, a great quarterback of the defense. And Quentin Williams on the D-line, man. He got a great start, man. He'll get the max potential out of the guys on the team, on defense particular. And he a great leader, man. So he gonna have to pick a great offensive coordinator and get his quarterback situation. And he got some big boy decisions to make. But I think, man, whatever team he would have went to, they would have been good. But just because his presence, man, he a great leader of men. So them guys gonna be ready to run through a wall for him. So Jets, great hire with Robert Saleh.
They have Sam Darnold at quarterback right now. Interesting to see how that progresses going forward. Another team with a young rookie quarterback or a young quarterback that actually seems to be ticking up is the Los Angeles Chargers. With Justin Herbert there, looks like the future is very bright. And they backed it up with getting Brandon Staley from the Los Angeles Rams. He gets to stay in LA, and now he's going to be in charge of the Chargers. No pun intended. What do you think about that hire?
I think another good pick. They like what they got at offensive coordinator right now with I think it's Sean. I can't remember his last name. Sean some Stench or something like that. But I think they like that situation, man. That they was productive with it. And then that quarterback coach is Pep Hamilton. So I think they feel like they want to win right now. The Chargers want to win right now. They feel like if they clean up that defense right now, get Derwin James back, they got Chris Harris over there. Man, they got Shane. That's what his name, not Sean.
Shane Stenchen.
Same Stenchen. So I think they like that situation right now on offense. But if they clean up that defense right now and they have a top 5 defense to match that offense, I think they like their chances to win right now. And if Shane was able to go get another head coach job, you know how that go, man. If offensive coordinator, they could leave. If they go, I feel like they got Pep Hamilton right there. They ready to put him right in place. They got another great leader, another great offensive coordinator right behind Shane. So I think that was a great pickup for them, man. What they had in place, I think they ain't kept it in place as of right now, but I think they'll keep that in place, man. They should. That was a good situation for Justin Herbert, and I think they'll clean that defense up and they'll be a contender next year.
They have a lot of playmakers on that defensive side of the ball. As you mentioned, Chris Harris Jr., Derwin James, hopefully he comes back healthy. Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa on the D-line. They could potentially get into that mix in the AFC with the Chiefs, with the Bills as teams of the present and future because of how well Justin Herbert played in his rookie year.
Sure.
Let's go on to another team in the NFC North. We'll see how their future will turn out. Dan Campbell coming in from New Orleans. He was the tight end position coach. So not a typical hire for a new regime there in Detroit. Dan Campbell, the new head coach of the Detroit Lions. What are your thoughts?
I don't know much about Dan Campbell. I remember him as a player. I remember he was a tight end, maybe my early years playing, but I don't know. This one of them hires where, you throw your hands up like, somebody pop up out the blue. We got a tight end coach. He emerged as a head coach. So, man, it must be something about his leadership. It must be something about how he controlled the room that made those guys fall in love with him, man. But I don't know. I felt like it could have been better.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how those guys in the locker room respond to him. Obviously, Matt Patricia is no longer there. We'll have to see what happens with Matthew Stafford. They pretty much didn't have Kenny Golladay for the entirety of the season. It looks like they'll be reshuffling things there in Detroit for at least the next season. And finally, this is the last head coaching spot that has been filled as of Tuesday. There's still 2 more that could be filled by the time we release this, or who knows when they actually do get filled. But nonetheless, in Atlanta, Arthur Smith coming from the Tennessee Titans to now be the head coach, replacing Dan Quinn, who was the head coach, and then Raheem Morris, who was the interim head coach for a while there to end the year. Arthur Smith, the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Your thoughts?
Again, I think it could have been something better done there, man. Just, it's hotter names. It's better ways to set up the organization than nothing against Arthur. I think he had to be a great leader. If Vrabel was calling the defense this year, he probably really had his hands full and controlling that offense and shit. They was they had the team on their shoulder. That offensive line, that run game, and Tannehill, the quarterback, had the team on their back for real. So he got to be a great leader, man, leading that group of guys. But I mean, he was letting the offensive line be physical. They was turning around and handing the ball to Derrick Henry, man. So I mean, it wasn't fucking rocket science, in my opinion. But if I was Arthur Blank, if I was the owner of that situation, I would have seen that situation in Houston. I got the number 4 pick. I would immediately dangle that number 4 pick, tried to get me a Deshaun. I would have promised them Bieniemy. I would have matched Bieniemy with Deshaun, Atlanta. A nice urban community, man. It would have been perfect for the city. I would have been thinking for the future. You know what I'm saying? With Bieniemy and Deshaun there, I would have been in one of those Arizona Cardinal type situations where my head coach and my quarterback is married. We're going to be good for a while. You know what I'm saying? The city, the Atlanta Falcons, as far as football is good for a while. You know what I'm saying? I would have been in that kind of mode. That's the way I would have went with it. But hey, they went with Arthur, man. We don't know. He probably going to keep Matt Ryan as the quarterback. I would have been ready to make some moves, man. It was an opportunity there for Atlanta to, go to the next level. Keep Raheem Morris as the D coordinator. He's doing a great job, man. He'll take that D coordinator spot. So I think they could have did something better.
And with Drew Brees potentially retiring, as it's been reported by Jay Glazer, there could potentially be an opening. We don't know how long Tom Brady is going to play. The Panthers are still in somewhat of a rebuilding, reshuffling mode.
Exactly.
That NFC South could have been for the taking. And if you're the Houston Texans, you would have been able to get Deshaun Watson out of the AFC, which is something that they're probably going to want to think about doing if
it all makes sense.
Not bring him back. I like that idea. With that being said, give me your take on the Deshaun Watson situation in general. Obviously, people who listen to the show, they know I cover the NBA as well with Danny Green, who's now with the Philadelphia 76ers. We recently saw what happened with James Harden. He pretty much forced his way out of the Houston Rockets and onto the Brooklyn Nets, or maybe the Philadelphia 76ers. He ended up with the Brooklyn Nets. We don't see that much in the NFL, where guys really get to strong arm their way off a team and to a preferred destination. How do you think Deshaun should move with this? We've seen comments from guys who are legendary with that franchise, like Andre Johnson, kind of say they don't want his career to go to waste. He needs to get out of there. We saw the post-game interview or post-game chatter between J.J. Watt and Deshaun Watson, where J.J. pretty much apologized to Deshaun for kind of wasting a year of his career. Can an NFL player pull a James Harden now? Is that still something that is kind of barred because of just the way salary structures are and things of that nature? Can it actually happen? Can he force his way out of there?
He can. I mean, if you are adamant about you don't want to be here, you adamant about you're not going to get nothing from me, man, they get rid of you and try to get something for you. You know what I'm saying? Before they get nothing from you in the season. So I think if he make it clear, if his team make it clear that he don't want to be there, that he want to go right now, they'll get it. It's enough situations out there where they can get something from him. If the Jets thinking about staying with Sam Darnold, then he might can go there. If Atlanta thinking about, You know what I'm saying? If Atlanta's thinking about moving on from Matt Ryan, he may can go there. So it's opportunity is there, man. He just got to be adamant about it, and there's no going back. Once you say it, there's no going back, man. And I personally think you need to move around. You don't like how they're making decisions. You think race has something to do with the decisions that they're making there. You don't want to be a part of that organization, man. You need to let that be known and move around. So why it's here? This is the opportunity to do it right now. So can't wait too long. If you're gonna do it, Deshaun, you got to do it now.
So that's how you would play it if you're Deshaun. But let's say you are in the Houston Texans management. You're getting a lot of bad press for this situation, and you're potentially letting go of a top 3, 4, 5 quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, you might get a great return, but at the same time, you're letting go of a potential Hall of Fame caliber quarterback on top of the fact that it might feed into some of these negative stories that are coming out about the franchise as well.
Go ahead. If I'm the Houston Texans organization, if I'm the spokesman for that organization, we don't even have these problems because I'm gonna be promising Eric Bieniemy a job on the low. If anything come out, it's gonna be, we was tampering with Eric Bieniemy because I'm gonna be on him too early. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no question. Deshaun like him. Deshaun, he already want him. I'm gonna be just hoping that I hope he a great leader. I hope he a great leader. I'm gonna just be praying that he a great leader. I'm gonna be praying that he command a room once we bring him in. But he gonna be on my schedule he gonna be my number one guy, no question. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be trying to find ways to shape my team to look like the Chiefs as much as possible. But that's what I'm gonna be doing. So we wouldn't have had these problems if I was a higher up with the Texans.
Okay, so before we get out of here, how do you predict it does end? I know how you'd play it if you're Deshaun. I know how you play it if you're the Texans. Give me your actual prediction.
I think the Texans come to their senses. I think they got an interview with Eric Bieniemy now. I think he just now hit their radar, but I think Deshaun Watson is so special. They want to keep him, and Eric Bieniemy might end up in Houston. That's how I think it's going to end up. Yeah, everybody happy.
If you're a Houston sports fan, you got to be hoping for that because it's
got to be hoping for that.
You lost Harden. You can't get the return for Deshaun Watson, at least in the immediate future.